Welcome back, everyone. You're looking at live images of just outside of Miller Auditorium, where we are waiting for that long procession to wind its way back to Miller. As you see some of the cars now coming into to view, 1,500 plus vehicles winding around 13.5 miles of the city of Kalamazoo. Officer Zapata, his body in a flag-draped casket aboard that fire rig, and his last tour around the Kalamazoo neighborhoods that he served so proudly.
As he arrives here at Miller Auditorium, they will take the casket down, put it into a hearse, and then take it back to Langland Funeral Home. And in preparation for the funeral, which will take place tomorrow in Lake Odessa. But the procession that has just gone through Kalamazoo, that was about 13.5 miles. It's taken almost 2 hours for all of the officers that were involved in this to wind their way in honor of Officer Zapata and his service to the community.
It was a slow, winding processional, and again, as Sue mentioned, Officer Zapata's body will be interred in his hometown of Lake Odessa. That service tomorrow is private. It's for family only, and a lot of folks have been asking on Facebook and through email if they can line the route there. We don't know of any planned route or processional like we saw today for the trip to Lake Odessa.
We, of course, have had crews lining the route and showing you the images of the hundreds of people that turned out to pay their respects to Officer Zapata, the Kalamazoo public safety officers, as well as firefighters and EMTs, all out along the side of the road and offering their condolences and their support, taking pride in their community and saying thank you to Officer Eric Zapata that lost his life in the line of duty, the first in the city of Kalamazoo for the Public Safety Department.
Yep. You see the wind billowing, the tents there in the background, the weather, and I see even blue sky there in the shot. The weather did hold out today for this. There was a lot of concern that with the chance of severe weather moving into our area, of course, and that's something Bill's working on, that it might interfere somehow with all of this, but it didn't. They managed to have a very beautiful and touching ceremony without any interference from Mother Nature, and that was appreciated.
Everybody gathered underneath that tent you see right there, and they were all able to get in and out of the funeral mass and partake in the service and then this procession all day long. We've been giving you the live coverage of the events unfolding in Kalamazoo, and now the casket is being put into position in order to be taken from the fire engine and brought back to the funeral home.
And that's what we've been seeing a lot of today. It's a lot of American flags, a lot of hearts covered by hands, a lot of somber faces, kids, parents, grandparents all coming out. It was their way, the community's way, Kalamazoo's way of saying thank you, not just to Officer Zapata and his family, but to the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety and all law enforcement agencies represented here today.
City flags lowered to half-staff until Thursday. State flags will be at half-staff all day long today in honor of Eric Zapata. A lot of people coming in to help the Kalamazoo Public Safety Department in order to be able to take part in the events today. About 300 officers from the Kalamazoo Public Safety, they were able to attend this, go through the grieving process, and not have to worry about getting back on the job today. They were able to immerse themselves in this honor that they really needed to witness. We talked about it today. It's all part of the healing process, the tradition of saying goodbye to a fallen officer.
Hopefully the family gets a little closure here, the department gets a little closure. Of course, though, this will be a very raw wound for some time to come. As you mentioned, the first loss of an officer in the line of duty in the department's history. That's an amazing testament alone to the kind of quality law enforcement that's provided in Kalamazoo for Officer Zapata to be the first to fall in the line of duty. It doesn't make it any easier for the Zapata family, obviously.
No.
Their loss is very real, again, very raw. It's an open wound for them, and they'll continue to deal and heal in the coming weeks and months.
Touching comments coming in on Facebook, on our webpage at woodtv.com, on our Facebook page. It really is a community that's showing its support. I know Chief Hadley mentioned earlier this week that fire personnel from Comstock, Oshtemo, Kalamazoo, Texas Townships, City of Portage, all providing the fire staffing so that they're covered in that regard. The Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office, Portage Police, Kalamazoo Township Police covering the city's police calls, Berry County Central Dispatch offering to handle any emergency dispatching in the city. So it's really that brotherhood, that bond, those people coming together with a clear understanding of that bond and respect that they have for one another and the danger that they go out into every day to protect the community.
And let's watch and listen now as the honor guard removes the casket from the fire truck. Very deliberate, delicate movements, everything choreographed for maximum effect, all part of the pageantry of the day. Godspeed, Officer Zapata.